Something big is happening inside the Raiders' war room, and it's not what anyone expected. A sudden shift in draft strategy, a surprising QB twist, and a decision that could change the team's direction forever. Raider Nation, you're not ready for this. Raiders predicted to trade Aidan O'Connell. During NFL draft, replace him with CFP. QB Aidan O'Connell lost his shot at the starting quarterback job for the Las Vegas Raiders the day the franchise traded a third-round pick to the Seattle Seahawks for Geno Smith. And if the door to O'Connell's ascension remained cracked even a fraction following that transaction, the Raiders slammed it shut with a $75 million extension that locks up the 34-year-old Smith through the 2027 campaign. Now, based on reporting from Vic Tafur, The Athletic, and a prediction from Mo Moton of Bleacher Report, O'Connell could see his tenure in Las Vegas end completely at some point during the fast-approaching NFL draft, which will be held between April 24th to 26th in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Essentially, the concept is that the Raiders will deal O'Connell during the proceedings and replace him on day 2 with either Jalen Milroe of Alabama or Quinn Ewers of Texas. Both quarterbacks recently earned the spotlight of college football's top platform, with Milroe competing in the college football playoff in 2023 and Ewers playing in the CFP last year. In 2 seasons, O'Connell has played well as a fill-in starter, throwing for 3,130 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions with a 62.6% completion rate, Moton wrote on Wednesday, April 16th. However, the Raiders have a mostly new coaching staff led by lead skipper Pete Carroll. Offensive coordinator Chip Kelly may want a more athletic quarterback room, which would jeopardize O'Connell's roster spot. O'Connell was a 4th-round pick 2 years ago and still has 2 seasons remaining on his $435 million contract. Given his level of play since joining the NFL and his general inexpensiveness, the Raiders shouldn't have much trouble finding a taker if they decide to trade O'Connell. However, his return isn't likely to be anything better than a day 3 draft selection. Raiders rumors: Scout gives Marshawn Lynch reason for picking new ESPN mock draft. Depending on who you listen to, the Las Vegas Raiders may be all in on Ashton Jeanty, or they might be swayed to go with defense. But a scout gave a Marshawn Lynch reason for the 1st-round pick in the new ESPN mock draft. The Raiders hope to have solved their quarterback need by trading a 3rd-round pick to the Seahawks for quarterback Geno Smith, so that leaves a big need at the running back position. ESPN's allowed users to act as general managers, and an NFC West national scout gave a reason for going with Jeanty in the 1st round. Raiders should grab RB Ashton Jeanty. It came down to value. I seriously considered going wide receiver here because of the needs, but I can't ignore the value of Jeanty, the scout said. He might be the best player in the class, and you know exactly what you're getting with him. Jeanty rushed for 2,601 yards and 29 TDs last season. He shows contact balance and breakaway speed, ESPN's Matt Miller wrote. But he's also a capable receiver out of the backfield and would open up the Raiders' passing game. This is Pete Carroll getting his Marshawn Lynch. The Raiders finished last in the NFL last season in yards per carry, 3.6, and rushing yards per game, 79.8. And it makes sense that Carroll won't be happy with that kind of ground attack. So the Raiders certainly seemed primed to get Jeanty. He's 5'9" and 201 pounds with plenty of juice, according to nytimes.com. With his low center of gravity and explosiveness, Jeanty has an uncanny ability to stay afloat through contact and be elusive in space, Dane Brugler wrote. He trusts his vision when following his blocks, but instead of predetermining his path, he displays outstanding reactionary reads to sort, cut, and create. Overall, Jeanty displays exceptional contact balance, run instincts, and versatility. In the passing game, reminiscent of LaDainian Tomlinson, he has the talent to emerge as a high-level running back early in his NFL career. Tomlinson, Lynch. What if you had a combination of the two? Wow. Jacoby Myers, open to contract extension. Coming off another disappointing regular season, the Las Vegas Raiders understood they needed to make some drastic changes to get the franchise back on track. With that in mind, owner Mark Davis brought in Pete Carroll and John Spytek to replace Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco, respectively. Carroll and Spytek have already made some big moves, most notably trading for Geno Smith and extending him. Now that Smith will be under center, Las Vegas must now focus on adding more talent and depth in the passing game. Brock Bowers is primed to be the #1 target, though the wideout room could use some help. Jacoby Myers had a strong 2024 campaign and is reportedly open to staying with the Raiders via Ryan McFadden of ESPN. Following Crosby and Smith securing lucrative deals, who could be the next Raider to get a big payday? Among a short list of names that make sense is wide receiver Jacoby Myers. With the 28-year-old coming off a career season and the Raiders being fairly thin at wide receiver, a long-term deal would lock down a reliable pass catcher for the foreseeable future. He is entering the final year of a 3-year, $33 million deal that he signed in 2023 and has a cap hit of $14.98 million in 2025. However, Myers doesn't have any guaranteed money remaining on his contract. Myers is open to getting a new deal done because he would like to be a Raider for the long term, according to a source with direct knowledge. Las Vegas has liked what it's seen from Myers and reportedly holds him in high regard. Myers, who spent his first 4 years in New England, has leverage. The team views Myers as a key player on the roster, and rightfully so. After recording at least 800 yards in 3 straight seasons, Myers watched his production spike in 2024. Although Myers might not be the flashiest wide receiver, he has good hands, solid technique as a route runner, and a field-stretching ability. Those 3 traits, plus his familiarity with the organization, make him an easy choice to be extended. While nothing is imminent, it would be good business for Las Vegas to keep Myers around for the long haul. Josh Jacobs names Jacoby Myers. As most underrated Raiders teammate Green Bay Packers star Josh Jacobs knows how difficult it's been for the Las Vegas Raiders the past few seasons, but he still had quality teammates when he was with the team. Jacobs had no problem calling Jacoby Myers his most underrated teammate because of what he was able to do on the field. Who does Raider Nation think the team will select at number 6? The Las Vegas Raiders will soon be on the clock in the 2025 NFL Draft. Next week, the Silver and Black will start off their draft with the 6th overall pick. At number 6, the Raiders can find another great draft talent that will be a building block for years to come. There are many unknowns on who the Raiders will select with that pick, and it is going to be interesting to see who they take. The Raiders, with picking up a quarterback in the offseason, now have many options with their first-round pick and have flexibility. It is also not out of the question that the team can trade back in the draft and add more draft capital in the later rounds. Head coach Pete Carroll and general manager John Spytek are looking to give the organization and Raider Nation a good draft class, as it will be their first as members of the Silver and Black. Our Hondo Carpenter asked Raider Nation on who they think the team will end up taking with the 6th overall pick. I think we take Genty over Spytek's better judgment with Walker rated higher and still on the board. Comes down to a choice between stacking the defense or helping make the QB's job easier. My guess is they choose the latter if they stay at 6, but I suspect they trade back, said one fan. I think Raiders trade down, get extra 2nd and 3rd round picks and likely draft a lineman, maybe Zabel in mid to late 1st round, said another fan about the Raiders trading down. Some fans want to see the Raiders trade down because they see the Raiders being more than just one position away from being contenders. With the 6th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Ashton Jeanty, RB, Boise State. Added a member of Raider Nation, Jeanty is now the favorite to be drafted by the Raiders at number 6 after trading for Geno Smith. Jalen Walker will fill the big need in the middle of the defense at the linebacker position if the Raiders take him in the 1st round. I really think we going DB or lineman. I think Pete and Spytek both have 0 track record of top 10 RB. I'd say it's most likely a trade back, and Johnson or Barron, and if not them, then Campbell, Membu, or Banks. Trade back. Sleeper Mason Graham if he falls, said one fan. The Raiders have plenty of options, they just have to be sold on the player they end up selecting in the 1st round. This draft could shake everything up, and honestly, I'm all in for it. If you're a true Raiders fan like me, drop a like and tell me in the comments who you want to see wearing silver and black next season.